Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome one, welcome all, welcome to our Saturday afternoon forts. I hope you guys have been looking forward to this one because we've got a brand new tournament set up for you guys here today. As today we're going to be broadcasting the Spanish 2v2 tournament. What is the Spanish 2v2 tournament? Well, it's a tournament from a relatively new community here in the forts. Within the forts category of players from Spain and Spanish generally, Spanish speakers generally. As you guys know, forts is a popular game around the world, and well, there's a brand new community of Spanish speakers that have been kind of taken off. So we're going to be showcasing many of their games here today. So you guys are going to get to see some of your favorites. By that I mean relatively newer players pitted against all kinds of things, all kinds of players, both old and new, and throwing them together in a tournament bracket. Let's do this. We'll be all the matches today will be best of ones, single elimination. Which should be nice and quick for you guys. So we're looking forward to that. And right now, we're getting set up for the next round. So strap in, grab your drinks, grab your goods, because we'll be going momentarily. It is actually interesting because I'm, as you guys know, I'm not particularly, what's the word? Fluent in Spanish. Nor am I fluent in German or French or Russian, you know, the other larger communities around here, or Chinese for that matter. But yes, everything happening here is in Spanish, which is actually kind of neat to see. I get to, you know, learn new words today. So that's cool. I'm all about that. And I'm curious to see which players will be recognized and which ones will be new. Because we have a fair few coming up here. Alrighty then. Alright, so as you guys know, during these competitions, these tournaments, then we will be setting the delay, so we won't have a lot of back and forth. But while we have the opportunity in between matches, I want to say shout out to everyone who's stopping by here at the start. Hello there, Strix and Shane and Comp, and I cannot pronounce, that's not a word, that's a jumble of letters and also numbers. And also Kazi-sama, and also Jose, and Jamming, and HGJ Han, and Louis, and Arathon, welcome in, and once again, thank you to ST, I think that's Steve. I think that's Steve, coming in with the Prime sub. Congratulations, you've gained access to all the beautiful emotes here on the channel, as well as on the Discord. Glad you enjoy. The question is whether you'll watch this or MCC, why not both? Spanish? Yes, Spanish. You can check out the multilingual broadcasts of these matches in the Forts category, where we have myself casting in English, Baumstander, and in German, I believe Ephemeral in Spanish, and OG in French. Spanish force? Does that mean you're going to be talking fast and descriptive like in those soccer games? Yes. Don't you mean football? Alright, the match is almost made and we're almost jumping into the action here. All the players are in the lobby. We're in the lobby. And will be once again. Oh, Lord have mercy. And she yell out gold before it blows up. You know, that is an option. That is something we can do. It's Forza o'clock? Yes. Yes, it is. All right. Alrighty. A delay for this, does that mean you're camera driving instead of rebroadcasting? Yes. Alright, the match is made, the players are ready. Let's jump right into the action. As we're starting right here and right now. So I am the cameraman today. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are off to the races. As here we have on the left-hand side, it is Armadillo and Snake playing as the Seep Commander. Armadillo is a player that we have seen a fair few times throughout the Forts competitive scene, mostly in the Forts Amateur and Pro Leagues. The Snake, I don't recognize. I don't know if he's someone playing under a different name or someone I simply don't recognize as a newer player. But they're facing off against their opponents here on the right-hand side. It is MSO 541 and Guilisk, playing as the Overdrive Commander. And we can already see the lean. It happens. It comes. As they lean once again. Oh! We have a mass disconnect, and somehow I have not been disconnected. Literally everyone has disconnected. Except me. Which is impressive. Okay. Did not expect. I am the only one. I'm not the host, by the way. So this means that somehow literally everyone else's internet broke except my internet connection to the host, which is wild. That is not what I expected to have happen. That's not normal. But okay, here we go. Have we had any matches yet? This is the first match displayed here. Let's do this. So things are getting a little exciting to start with. We're seeing an old classic. The Swarm Missile Rush. We should expect to see a third one down there soon, TM. As everyone else builds their way across. Now this is a turbine setup I've never seen before. That's not true. I've not seen at a high tier You see lots of good destruction? Yes. Oh, interesting. He's adding in... He's going up to 5 mines with 2 swarm missiles. That I didn't expect. That's something you don't usually see. Typically, you just see swarm missiles built to the back after the 4 mines. The swarm missiles. They hunt turbines. The favorite food of the turbines are the favorite food of the swarm missiles. And here you can see the swarm missiles in their natural habitat feasting upon the helpless wind turbines. Interesting. You'll love to see it. Again. Oh my lord, he got the mines too. Oh dear. So Guilisk is getting a little bit bullied by swarm missiles. They are feasting upon his base. You love to see it. Whereas they haven't been upgraded to nukes just yet. Oof. But they are just fine. His teammate up here, MSO, is doing his best to help with the anti-air, getting some machine gunners in play. This will help immensely. Oh my. So across the board, we have a bit of progress. The swarm missiles down here are, well, they've done some damage, but this is not really a swift and aggressive play, I should say, because they've stayed swarm missiles for an extended period of time. In fact, they've stayed swarm missiles for so long that the rest of the heavy weapons have come out. As we have fire beam, plasma beam from the snake up top. We also have cannon tech from both players here on Team 2, Guilisk and MSO. Everyone involved has gone with an upgrade center, and they have all upgraded their economies, some with more success than others. For a brief moment, things have calmed. That brief moment is past, as here comes the fire beam plasma beam directly to the foundation nodes. But MSO, armored enough to tank it, just barely, causes some pretty substantial deformation around his fort, but nothing that will cause him to collapse just yet, as immediately Armadillo and the Snake bring snipers to bear, taking out anti-air, and paving the way for the first nuclear launch of this round. Do it. Do it. Do it. Yes. Nuclear launch detected. They're going for the high ground. Huge hit. Paving the way for the, well, everything else to follow up. Not only did it penetrates the armor and get into the turbine layers, but it opened the armor for everything else nearby, allowing the minigunners to shred the rest of the turbines, and the plasma beam to punch almost clean through the core. As here comes another launch. Even more damage, but no massive follow-up this time. Nuclear launch detected. Oh, directly to the core. The core has been touched. And he's gone. Just barely didn't defend that at the last possible frame. Laser punches through, does just enough damage to let it burn down. And MSO now stands alone. Against, well, a lot of firepower. Armadillo launches another nuke. And the last turbine is devoured. As plasma beam after plasma beam burn through MSO's base. So at this point, Team 1 here on the left side, the blue fort, in the blue corner, has just about all the freedom they have to do whatever they want. And that involves sending the last remaining player into the abyss. As Team 1 wins it in this competition. Well played. Armadillo and the Snake will move on in the bracket. Well done, team. Now, I'm not saying that I want the English teams to win, but I might have a little bit of a bias, which is kind of hard for me to say. I don't even know if that's true, because like the amount of times some of my favorite players of all time are the new players that come into the competitions. It's like, you know, they're not so great at the game, but they make for the best stories. You know, you get to watch as they make their way through the bracket. And you know, they'll eventually get knocked out for the first time, but then they come back again, and they make it a little further with the bracket. And then they get knocked out again. And then, you know, 3 or 4 times later, they're in the finals. With the best stories to go around. And that makes it amazing. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how all of these players push their way through the bracket. One of the features of this tournament is it's about half English speakers of the players that you may be familiar with, and about half Spanish speakers that are relatively new to the fort scene. They have played, you know, forts sometime before, as you can tell. You know, they have the basics, just merely less experience in the competitive side of things. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that works out. So next up, another match. The Germans move on. I believe we have 2 English-speaking teams coming up next. English-based teams coming up next. Give us a moment while we set up for the next round. Justin, why are there 2 planches? This is a tournament to showcase the Spanish-speaking community in Forts, which is a relatively new branch of the Fort, relatively new niche in the Forts community, and with it, relatively new players. These are players that you will have not seen throughout the competitive scene, as we'll get to see them now. Thought this was a Spanish tournament? It is a predominantly Spanish tournament, yes. It is hosted by one of the main Spanish personalities. I say that as if Spain is you know, main identity. It's just that, much like the Germans and everyone else, language barriers are a thing, so players that speak Spanish tend to stick around to players that speak Spanish. And for the first time, they're reaching out saying, "Hey guys, we want to put on a tournament that gets everyone involved." And so that's what they're doing. And so there's a whole host of relatively new players coming in to join the competitive scene. It's like, surprise, out of nowhere, 8 more teams jumping in the competitive team. And so it's a bit of a mixed bag of players this time. Half of them will be new to you, many relatively new to Forts. Whereas the other half, you guys may know and recognize. Okay, so it looks like we're going a little out of order relative to... looks like we're going a little out of order relative to the bracket. So we'll be going into round 2, the quarterfinals match next, as opposed to continuing down the round of 16. Just because of scheduling with the players. So up here will be Team Hyper versus Kläglich Knichte. I don't know how to pronounce that. We have here on the left-hand side, it's the Snake and Armadillo. One of the German teams. I'm playing as the Phantom Commander, so we're gonna get some dirty, filthy cheese. Whereas on the right-hand side, it's Dami and Mars. They're playing as the Spook Commander, so they will know... The Spook Commander will inform Dami and Mars of Armadillo's and Snake's choice of Phantom Commander. So this will not be incredibly surprising, but that still means that there is cheese opportunity. Plenty of cheese opportunity. So here I'm looking for mostly at the snake and armadillo to see what they're doing. Whereas the other team on the right-hand side, they can do whatever they want, and they're just gonna have to deal with whatever happens to them. Sniper out of nowhere. There's something strange happening here in Armadillo's fort. He's got triple sniper, and I think I know what's happening here. Yes, he's going to go with the This is going to be the triple AP sniper cheese. He's going to attempt to snipe out Mars, and all he needs, Armadillo needs, is a buzzsaw. He doesn't have the tech for it. Mars will survive. And Armadillo reacts by canceling the AP Sniper upgrade. Alright, so he knows. And Mars is peeking and prodding with his own AP Sniper. Phantom into Spook is cooked. Not quite. In terms of information, Phantom does actually supersede Spooks for the most part. But it does help dramatically to know that your opponent is Phantom. Now, so far, we haven't seen a whole lot of cheese going around here. Why are you like this? Interesting. I don't know what to do with that information. Using the tech sharing struts. They're invisible. This does not much. So when they're invisible, Spook cannot see them at all, even during Spook active. So while it is neat, it isn't... They just don't... As the spectator here, we can see they don't have any real benefit to doing this. Their weapons aren't available. There's no... They're not getting anything by cloaking here beyond, messing with the mind of their opponents. Question from chat. Do you happen to know if the Spanish-speaking community is clustered around the EU time zone or NA? This group that we're playing with here, or spectating here, is around the EU time zone. This is Spain Spanish. Spanish, if you will. I am aware that there are plenty of Forts players in South America, for example, which were generally locations that speak Spanish in the North American side of the world. But this particular group is Spanish. Another question from chat. If this is Spanish, why is it all Germans? Because the Germans win everything! And they kicked the Spanish out of the tournament round one. But no, the real answer is that it's about 50-50. 50% Spanish and hosted by the Spanish community. And 50% the rest of Forts, which is mostly German. case endpoint. And also, the Spanish... this is a round 2 match after the Germans had their way with the Spanish speakers. With the Spaniards. There we have... Oh! Dami takes a hit. His core ignited and he's burned down to 86%, but all in all, not much damage taken actually. We have a sniper chilling up here on high with lots of weaponry just kind of hanging out. Is that... For a second I thought that was a magna beam. I was like, wait a minute. Stop. Don't do this to me. No one has any cannons. Except Mars, but Mars is on the other team, so it doesn't count. Armadillo's building quite tall, with a few machine gunners of his own. I like the angle here. Ooh, the fog! The smoke launcher just blocking the lasers at the perfect timing, saving Mars from taking a critical hit to his underside. Now that was great. Very well done. Another cannon clean through Armadillo's base. Ooh, armor penetrated. But the lasers win, or at least survive. A swing and a miss. We have a turbine block saving the laser beam from a cruel fate. Attempting to use the sniper as anti-air doesn't quite make it this time. So the cannons knock down the turbine doors. By doors, I mean energy shields. A beautiful EMP. Looks like the Phantom team's all repaired up and ready to fire another volley. Let's see what it looks like this time. Oh. Fascinating snipe. I will say, the smoke launcher is doing an excellent job of shutting down the laser weaponry, as we have a detonation from behind, a quantum entanglement explosion. Funny mechanic. If a plasma beam, or weapon generally, is being moved by Phantom and it explodes in both locations, both the location in which it was originally when it was impacted, and also where it was moving to. This is what happened here to Armadillo. Oh, now that's just way too much damage. You can't let that happen. Armadillo, no! He loses all of his mines, just the tiniest little angle. Breaks through. And now the cannons are coming. And Armadillo no longer has the economy to sustain it. And by it, I mean his entire fort. Any part of it. If Mars just keeps slamming the front of Armadillo's base, it will be a checkmate and a game over for him. Beautifully well done. And the door snipe. That is a complete shutdown. Dami and Mars here on the right-hand side just have far, far too much anti-air for Armadillo and the Snake to do anything about that. They just can't get through. As Armadillo is mass selling the entirety, like all of his internals, just to get more mines and basic defenses in play. The snipers going back and forth, taking out anti-air and everything else along the way. Armadillo is now up to 5 mines, which is a much more reasonable quantity of mines. It's not quite enough to sustain the damage from four cannons. We need to pause. We need to pause. Yeah. We have more internet connectivity issues. Dami struggling once again. As we get things back into the action. And he's back. So as it stands, Mars is shaping up to annihilate Armadillo here. And Armadillo's not a whole lot he can do about it. As much as he still has armor, as much as he also has income, he doesn't have enough really built up. As in, he had to sell off much of his structure. So he doesn't have a backlog, so all of his structure has to be intact at all points in time and reconstructed at all points in time, and that leaves it very inefficient and desperate. Like Armadillo is going to fire a howitzer here, but he's going to fire it into a world of anti-air. And, I mean, it makes the shot. And it does it. It's enough. Mars goes down. The howitzer opens up Mars's doors. And the Snake punches through it. With a laser from below. Very effective. And just like that, the game has gone from Team 1 being on the back foot, like almost checkmate here, to Team 1 being the leader, and by a lot. Armadillo's over here like, oh my god, I'm alive, how am I alive? Honestly, I don't know how Armadillo's alive. That should not have survived that. That's ridiculous. It is crazy. But well done. Very well done. The snipers be sniping. The Phantom players are moving their lasers forward, and so we're about to see another round, another volley. Wow. Despite all of that focus fire, it's not actually enough to punch through the armor. Team 2 just survives that without losing anything. Here's the thing. Team 2, Dami and Mars. All they have are 2 plasma beams, which is not a lot. Not a lot at all. And that makes them at quite the disadvantage. At this point, it's just a matter of the Snake and Armadillo. The blue players here are on Team 1. It's just a matter of them dealing enough damage, of just firing their weapons enough to break through. So honestly, Team 1 just doesn't have that many weapons. Like, they have weapons, they just don't have that many weapons. The howitzer is definitely their biggest ticket item. But even the plasmas, there are only 2 plasmas on the board. Like, when you get up to 3 and 4 plasmas is where things get really interesting. Door snipe, Team 2 loses the plasma. Oh, sniper. Oof. Howitzer lands, but there is no follow-up. As the game is just kind of mellowed out again. Team 2 is sufficiently armored against the howitzers such that, well, they won't get that same everything is collapsing experience all over again. We do see portal nukes coming in from Team 1, which I like. Generally, damage output, I like. Because Team 1 is... that's what they really need at this point. They need to ramp up their damage output so they can apply enough pressure to remove their opponents from the game. Whereas Team 2 is just try to stabilize. So anytime that Team 2 removes pressure for the board, or pressure is not applied to them for any reason, that's the world in which they want to live. And here we see a fire beam sniped out. Good job for Team 2 here. I do like the buzzsaw play from the blue team here on the left-hand side, applying just that much pressure, more pressure to Team 2. As really, these guys over here, they just need to do everything they can to get scrappy with it and slow the game down. And off we go. It looks like it might actually turn into a slugfest again, as Team 2 is starting to build up weapons. Team 1 is just letting them go. As the howitzer flies. Well, that's a swing and a miss. Kind of. Mostly swing and a miss. Beautiful shotgun. as the portal nukes are coming online. More howitzer and shotgun. Well done. Perfectly done. Complete with the wind turbine block to keep the shotgun alive. You'll love to see it. Alright, now here comes the real question. Can this snake land this nuclear launch? He's got fire beams ready to defend. The nukes. Fire. Nope. Both nukes group fired at the same time, and a single plasma beam knocks them both out of the sky. Well played, Team 2. Dami and Mars keeping things stable as they build up their own missile launchers. Despite it all, Team 2 has managed to not explode, and not only have they managed to not explode, they have also developed additional weaponry of their own, replacing lost weaponry back up to 2 plasmas, and more importantly, a swarm missile and a nuke, as they get punched by cannons continuously. You know, Team 2 is relying on that shotgun, and everyone knew it. And they couldn't, Team 1 couldn't manage to snipe it out, so they just blasted it with a cannon, which is, you know, I approve of that. Well done, machine gunners. Very well done. As off we go again, to another round of stabilizing. Yeah, this has gone from the snake and armadillo from having a very, very large lead to things being evened out a bit. I don't even want to call this a slugfest given the lack of sluggery. Like, yes, they're blasting each other, but if you guys were here last week, oh my god, those were some real slugfests. This is a slapping contest by comparison, and not even like a burly arm wrestler level slapping contest. Just kind of a middle of the road slapping contest. Oh, both nukes gonna land? I guess that counts as both nukes landing. But here we have the first real retaliation. Nuclear launch detected. Team 2 comes out with surprise nukes, and there's nothing stopping this. Massive damage. Team 1 gets annihilated, losing an entire fort in the process. Comeback for the comeback. As now they're trying to finish off the last remnants. Nuclear launch detected once again. There's still no anti-air for Team 1, so this nuke will fly clean across. Alright, now the anti-air is online, and Team 2 is starting to snipe it out and remove it one shot at a time. Another plasma goes down. Team 1's getting picked apart here. Hold up, wait a minute. Was that the last plasma? Team 1 has no more heavy... Nope, there is one more left. It's very wounded, but there is one left. And another beautiful shot takes out what was once Armadillo's mines. I think it's the same plasma from the same spot that did it too. The nuke. It flies. The anti-air isn't enough. But the nuke is caught on some external plating. So nothing that's going to be critical damage here with that. Another flak is destroyed. Team 1 still does have weapons. They still have a fire beam, they still have a plasma, and they still have portal nukes. And that means they can still do a lot of damage. But they had more than that, and have had more than that for quite some time, and they haven't been able to break their opponents with it. This might just be a case where Team 2, they just have the resiliency to tank anything Team 1 could throw at them. And if that's true, and Team 2 just doesn't lose here. Once again, the group fire. And once again, Team 1's nukes are blasted out of the sky by some directed energy weaponry. For a second, I thought that nuke was gonna make it through. I was like, "That's a lot of That's a lot of lead that it's just flying through." There's no more answer here for Team 1. It's all been destroyed as the nuke lands. Again, the nuke lands somewhere not particularly critical, but that's still a big hit. At least in terms of repairing required. Oh dear, oh my. More chopping, more damage. As Team 2 is just kind of ramping up the weapons. They have 2 more plasmas under construction. Which, you know, this is something that Team 1 didn't do. When Team 1 had the advantage, they didn't really ramp up the pressure that much. But now that Dami and Mars here on the right-hand side have the advantage, they are well and truly ramping up the firepower. It's gonna be a good one. Again, the nuke slams into a nuke catcher. So that's the best case scenario for Team 1 here, but that's still not something they can maintain. I guess technically with only the one nuke landing they can maintain it, but it's expensive. It's truly expensive. I think I would like to see Team 2 get a second nuke here. One of Team 1's nukes makes it across. With laser follow-up, it does penetrate pretty deep, but it doesn't hit anything of importance. Which means now it's time to retaliate. And here comes the damage. I would like to see that nuke go somewhere else, but also there's nowhere really else it can go that would be successful. Like normally you'd say, oh hey, let's send the nuke into the weapons platform, but their Phantom, their solution to the nuke going into the weapons platform is just make it not a weapons platform by moving the weapons. Now this right here is what I would like to see more of. Just sending multiple lasers into the same spot. At this range, it's not so difficult to just get 3 or 4 lasers and just send them all directly into the same node. And just over-penetrate anywhere in particular. I also like to see this for Team 1. The Snake and Armadillo are adding in mortars. I like this. Team 2 had enough anti-air earlier to deal with this easily. But the anti-air has been kind of decaying because it's not needed. Oh my god. For a second I thought that was going to stay intact. Very well done, Team 2, destroying everything up there, which is what you want to see them doing. That's how you do it. Destroying all the mines, as here comes another missile launch. The nuke caught harmlessly on an external bracing. This is an extruded strut. Beautifully done. Not only did that plasma burn the nuke out of the sky, but it also door sniped Team 1's plasma. Team 1 has 0 weapons remaining. Not even a flak or a single piece of anti-air. This is, I think this is the end for Team 1 here. I think Team 1 knows it. As the Snake and Armadillo are getting themselves in a spot of trouble. Man, they had such a seemingly insurmountable advantage. And yet, here we are. With Dami and Mars digging in for victory. Oh my. Very little remains for the Snake and Armadillo. And there goes the portal nuke. Both the nuke and the portal have been destroyed. And there go the mines. There's nothing left here, so it is time to concede. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Team 2 with the victory. Now that was a wild back and forth. Holy smokes, Mars and Dami will be moving on in this competition. Very well played. That's what we'd like to see around here. So that was a nice back and forth. Many unexpected things. Many unexpected things, I dare say. Wow. That was a good match. That was a very good match. A couple questions from chat. Is it co-op on death? Yes, it is co-op on death. It is the standard vanilla co-op on death. There is no modification to make it weapons only or anything of the sort. It is standard. Should weapons only be the standard? Probably. But as it stands, it is not currently the case. Another question. How is single player in Forts? Don't have the APM to do PvP. Will the AI stomp me? Hard to say. I will say generally the single player is good. There is quite the popular cluster of players who play not but campaign, skirmish, and such. The AI is decent but isn't crazy. There is a mod that exists which makes the AI crazy and therefore interesting. But for most, the standard AI is more than enough. The campaigns are certainly good. You're still doing the campaign to learn the controls. You got hit hard with windstorms, pollen, and June bugs. Oh my. Hey, you know, business is booming, eh? Sounds like you got some good work going for you. Good consistent lineup. Yeah, so last round was amazing. That was the antithesis of a snowball. Oof. Give us a moment while we set up the next round. Let us see. Who do we have up next? We have two Spanish teams facing off against each other. Win, lose, or draw. One of the teams will be moving on to the quarterfinals. And one will be eliminated. We'll find out who very shortly. You can use the bracket commands to see the bracket for yourself at your leisure. Let's do this. All the players are in the lobby. So, interesting note, one of the teams is actually a South American team. So we have Spaniards versus South America here. So this will be interesting. Very interesting. Alright, we will be minor technical difficulties. Once again, we will be fixing that here before starting up the next round. What is going on here? There we go. All right. Let's get everyone in here. Who? You. All right. Okay, we just need the players, which is... Hold up, these aren't the same player. What is... Why are you like this? Teams are the other way around. Okay, team 2. Ah. All right. I believe everyone is here. And it looks like we're good to go. Alrighty then, we are good to go. We're off to the next round. As this one is an interesting one, where we have Latin America versus Spain. Should I say Spain versus Latin America? As here we have on the left-hand side, it's George and Gomi. George is one of the, should I say, the main cat herder in this competition, representing the Spanish team. They're playing as the Spook Commander in this mirror match against their opponents on the right-hand side in the red. It is Willcrack99 and Senor Patata. Playing as the Spook Commander and representing Latin America at this point in time. I guess, South America? It's kind of, they're from two different countries, so. Just generally South America. Alas, two very different sides of the world. And both speak the same language. Ish. Now, playing as the Spook Commander does mean that there's not a whole lot of obvious tells as to what the strategies will be. Spook is kind of a generalist commander that can do anything and everything. It is very well adapted at adapting and generally reacting to your opponents. So having them kind of just chill out and do whatever they want is kind of par for the course. But that also includes not chilling out and whatever they want being quite violently explosive very early on. So things are just an option. But given the build orders I've seen such from each player thus far, does lead me to believe that we're not going to see anything particularly explosive at the beginning of this game here. So it'll be nice and slow, I suspect, going through early economic upgrades through to heavy weapons and an inevitable slogfest. We have 2 of 4 players who've gone up to heavy weapons so far, 3 of 4, and will we see 4th? As Gomi's struggling here. He's trying. Do you see upgraded economy for both teams, or for the right-hand team here in the red, and the left side as well? Okay. Okay. So it's getting a nice, gradual, consistent push toward heavy weapons with economic investments along the way, and an array, a variety of heavy firepower. We're going to have mixed weaponry from Team 2, Willcrack and Senor Patata. Senor Patata on top going with cannons, Willcrack going with lasers from below. George here, the Spanish team, developing cannons from below. Gomi has not yet decided. Work in progress. Okay. So the way this map is progressing, I am quite convinced that the South American team is the more experienced of the group here, and therefore is most likely to be victorious in this matchup. The Spaniards know what they want to do and are getting there eventually. We do see cannons from George, placed and under construction. Still no heavy weapons tech from Gomi, which means no heavy firepower. I like what I'm seeing here from Willcrack. This is a chunky, thick base. He does have one flaw in the defense that we've seen exploited several times. And that's this angle right here. His core can be directly hit from an angle that is a direct line of sight to Gomi's weapons, where Gomi's weapons platform would be if he had one. But as it stands, it's howitzer time, as the first shots are fired. Gomi takes a hit. Willcrack takes a hit. The armors hold for both, though Gomi's core takes a bit of splash damage. This is something I've seen more often, where players will fire their first shot before putting the doors on, which has had mixed results, I must say. It's had some very mixed results. Senior Patata has not yet developed a follow-up shot, a follow-up weapon. While he does have a cannon under construction, it's currently unavailable and therefore cannot penetrate through that which the howitzer has softened and sundered. There's a single cannon from George will slam into Willcrack's front, but Willcrack's got plenty of armor there, and that's not getting close. Alright, Senor Patata has gotten set up with a standard cannon and can now penetrate once the howitzer lands, and indeed he does. Gomi just barely has enough. Look at how little armor HP is left alive on that. Just barely surviving. His core still takes a lick of splash damage, knocking him down to 70%. It was close. It's Willcrack's armor is holding the line. George just doesn't have enough firepower. With only a single cannon, it isn't enough to penetrate through. But here on the other side, Gomi is taking these hits, but he can take these hits for a long time. He's upgraded mines, and, well, frankly, he's got nothing in his fort that can take damage. He's just a wall of wood and armor. So, like, yes, the howitzer's hitting. Yes, it's a hefty repair bill, but it's the minimum most possible repair bill because there's nothing in existence in the fort to repair. Which is, you know, an interesting way of defending. But it does, in fact, work. The howitzer now is dropping down in front. It's going low and slow, making it an easy target for the shotgun. A huge hit. Just multiple lasers penetrating the same location. And George loses a cannon, knocking him back down to one cannon. I want to see Willcrack develop a third plasma and also a fourth plasma, and I want to see him build it now. He's spending his money elsewhere, which is fair. But Senor Patata is getting set up with 2 more cannons. Cannon follow-up. Second cannon follow-up. Nah, he doesn't have his doors opened yet. He's got to fix his doors first. As the lasers from below try to hit Gomi's core, instead just take out his turbines, which is, you know, also pretty good. It's a work in progress. As the howitzer flies. cannon follow-up. Doesn't quite hit the softened up location. The Gomi's armor will survive. Ooh. If those lasers hit the right spot, Gomi just collapses here. More howitzer flies. A beautiful howitzer round. Do it. Follow-up cannon shell. And perfectly placed, but not quite enough to break Gomi just yet. If Willcrack had managed to time those lasers at the same time as the howitzer landed, I think that would have been enough to slice Gomi off of his foundations here and end him immediately. That's an interesting shot. A beautiful cannon round. Excuse me? Did that EMP just eliminate Patata? What just happened there? We are going to have to check that back in the replay because what just happened there? I genuinely don't know. Alright, well, Willcrack now stands alone against the world. And by the world, I mean the, apparently God-favored Spanish team here. Okay. The EMPs are being sold off for the Spanish players. Oof. But now George here has a cannon stack of 3 cannons, which is a chunky amount of cannons. And enough that Will is going to struggle to do anything about it. But with still only 2 plasmas, Will just doesn't have the firepower to punch through. It's so close, but not quite there yet. Gomi up here is trying. Oh, that's gonna miss. It actually didn't miss. Took out a shotgun. That is so close to just taking out a whole line of Willcrack's turbines. And there's a whole line of turbines taken out. Could have seen that one coming. Oh my. Alright, come on. You can get that third plasma online. Whoa! That's so close to the shot I was talking about right at the start here. And if those cannons get the follow-up hit, Will Crack just goes down immediately. He's undefended from a drop shot from on high. Undefended. And it's, oh, there's a shot. And now Gomi is developing cannon tech, which, you know, is cool. But with the second plasma coming online, if he aims for the core... Ooh, that energy shield came online just in time, but... Energy shield will not defend against cannons. Alright, Willcrack, this is your opportunity. You have 3 plasmas. Pick a target, pick a spot, focus all of those lenses into this single location, and burn. It's a perfect location. Do it again. And the third shot, does he make it? No! He doesn't quite make it perfectly. He does technically get through the door, but not enough to hit the cannon behind. So very close. But not quite. He just needs to do that again. Same spot. Doesn't quite have the energy for it, but he's getting there. He's a good, what is that, 10, 15 seconds out from being ready to fire again. And... send it. You can do it, Will. I believe in you. Come on. Do it. I mean, I guess that technically counts as doing it. Just taking out weaponry of Gomi here. Oh, massive damage! Secondary explosions causing, well, their blast radius to scrape Gomi's core down to 32%. Oh, and he's burning. Oh, he's burning. But Gomi wasn't the big threat. Willcrack is ready to fire once again and needs to fire into that same spot. Oh, he's running out of time. And there's a drop. Willcrack has lost a plasma. And with that plasma going down, he now no longer has the firepower to punch through the doors. If he can't punch through the doors, he needs a door snipe. Which is still an option. And in fact, you can see Gomi up top. Oh, a second plasma just dropped. Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's all coming crumbling down. He's losing tech. The base is literally falling apart. Oh dear. Oh no. It was so close to greatness. So very close to greatness. And he gets him! A chain reaction of explosions, and Gomi goes down. But now here comes the howitzer. And there goes Willcrack. Kaboom. As just like that, off the back of some absolutely nutty EMP nonsense, the Spaniards win it. That's wild. Okay, why has it done this? That was absolute madness. We're going to have to check the replay here. Give me a few minutes. I may have to come back to that. Alrighty. I need to check the replay on that for a moment. Give me a second. because that's not... normal. What happened here with this EMP? So this guy fires the EMP upwards. It's this EMP right here that it happens to. Is it just going to... there's no way, right? Oh my god. It hit the skill gap again. Guys, it's been like 2 years since we've seen that happen. It hit the skill gap. What is that angle? It went above this, below this, and hit the core. Excuse me. Excuse me. That's not okay. You can't do that to people. What? It just turns down at the last second, goes underneath this, and impacts the core. Look at... there's one frame where you can see the nose of it go right past the node here. Oh my god. That's not okay. I don't know who thought that was okay. That's ridiculous. All right. Welcome to Forts, ladies and gentlemen. That was a wild experience, is what that was. Absolutely wild experience. Guys, I'm just trying to think. It's like, we made a whole video about the skill gap because there was this big meme going around with, oh hey guys, you know, the standard build order for this hanging fort includes this gap where just no one knows what to do with it, so we don't do anything there. And no one ever gets punished for it because there's nothing there to get punished by. Until someone did, when a shot pulled one of those, and then just like curved up and around, took out someone's cannon and destroyed the entire base. And we're like, excuse me? What? There's no direct line of sight, there's no direct shot, it just kind of like curved around and hit the thing. It's like what? So that's not okay. So that's the skill gap. If you guys haven't seen the skill gap before, it has happened once, but it is theoretically possible. And well, I guess technically now it has happened twice. Because, excuse me? Good lord. Nothing about that is okay. Nothing about that is okay, guys. Alrighty. Next up, we have Team Plancha versus Team Arbeit. And we're off. Ladies and gentlemen, we're off to the races. And what is going to be an exciting match here. Well, here we have on the left-hand side, it is Speedfire and Luna playing as the Architect Commander. They're getting themselves set up for a nice long game. As on the right-hand side, in the red, they're against their opponents, Ragnarok and Julian, playing as the Pinch Fist, getting themselves set up for some early aggression and some pretty hefty rushing techniques. I don't know how to pronounce Team 2. I think it is... Let me look at this really hard. I believe it is Arbeitslosengeld, which is... Arbeitslosengeld, which is something about being out of work. Like being out of employment. Being out of a job. That is Team 2, Ragnarok and Julian. Facing off against Team 1, Plancha. You got greedy. We didn't actually get that greedy. Token EMP saving his life, or at least, trying to. Either way, we have a pretty standard progression towards things. We don't have any exceptional risks taken by the Pinch Fist teams here. They're going through what I would describe as pretty standard Pinch Fisty plays. Julian definitely scuffed his builder a little bit, forgot his metal storage, and thus floated away 232 metal before he was able to do anything about it. Oh, how? You did it. Ragnarok going for the howitzer rush. Also not quite perfectly clean. Floating away 228 metal in the process, but still quick. That's a few seconds floated. The shotguns coming in to be annoying. Honestly, the shotguns and the AP snipers are brutal against Pinchfist because Pinchfist sells off so much of their stuff that the shotguns and snipers become an actual threat. As you can tell, because Julian took an AP sniper to the core and took, knocked him down to 70%. Alas, we have a fire beam, plasma beam coming online for Julian here. They're already halfway completed. Ragnarok halfway down with his howitzer. Whereas the other side, Speedfire has just placed his first cannon and has placed it in a position which makes this whole place vulnerable, but does make it come out faster. And also kind of surprisingly fast, so that will be relevant here. More importantly, Luna has actually developed a total, completely upgraded economy. Which means, if this game goes long, Luna will be economically advantaged. Which is not a surprise. The team playing as Architect gets to, get all the nice, cool infrastructural toys. And it should come as a surprise to absolutely no one. Julian is now developing an upgrade center, presumably in an effort to get upgrades of their own. This is super risky. It is cannon o'clock, and Julian has a completely exposed core right now. But he is going for the instant elimination, and doesn't get it. Luna just has enough armor. Honestly, I think the only reason Luna survived that was the quick placement of the sandbags. Placing the sandbags there meant the fire beam got caught on the sandbags and therefore could not continue its penetration, could not continue its damage, and was unable to weaken the forts to the point where the plasma beam could punch through it. So very well done. Howitzer impacts Speedfire's face and sunders his armor, but there's no follow-up. And the Speedfire will survive intact and okay. One of the joys of playing Pinch Fist is you're pretty much guaranteed to get first shots advantage. And as such, you don't really need to have doors before firing the first time. Oh, some nice shooting from Team 2, Ragnarok and Julian. Doing a great job. I'm liking the sniping from Ragnarok and Julian here. Shotgun. First plasma coming online for Luna. Shout out to Speedfire here with a beautiful shotgun. This is just a murder hole is what this is. It's a murder hole with a shotgun pointed out of it. Which is exquisitely well done. Plasma from on high. You can do it? No? Okay. Oh, he's trying for the door snipe. Doesn't quite get it. But alas, it was close. Oh, massive damage. Ragnarok down to 15%. Secondary explosions ramping through the base. Doesn't cause much structural integrity damage, but brings his core down to just shy of gone. And now shotguns from both players, both Luna and Speedfire, have enough anti-air to keep that howitzer completely locked down. That's a bit rough. Team 2, despite having first shot advantage and doing some notable damage with it, just hasn't been able to keep that damage going. Speedfire and Luna here on Team 1 have been able to recover and punish. The smoke just keeping the plasmas locked down. Oh, wow. That was almost lethal. That almost destroyed Speedfire's stability tech, which would have absolutely caused a collapse. Now that was a beautiful shot. Ooh, and we have a portal nuke setup coming in from Julian. Top player for the right side of the forts. Shotguns too strong and too many. Lasers are both sides. They cut deep through Ragnarok. They actually fully penetrate. Ragnarok standing on his stability tech alone takes a little bit of internal ignition damage, but nothing critical. Just a light reminder that he needs more armor. As Luna's taken laser fire after laser fire. Oh. Oh no. The shotgun play from Luna and Speedfire has been top-notch. This howitzer has done almost nothing. And the times it has landed, as scary as it has been, it just hasn't done enough to make it worthwhile. Yeah, Ragnarok is selling it off, and I approve. I think he should sell off that howitzer and just replace it with a standard cannon. I think he'd be better off that way. But the laser fire from Luna just perforating Julian's base and leaving them with not much left. Go on, the second cannon follow-up shot. Does it not have the money for it? Doesn't have the money to fire the second cannon shot to give Ragnarok an opportunity to defend. Oh wow. He doesn't even build a second cannon there. He just hardwalls his first cannon. And leaves the second one a gaping hole. So it can't be damaged at all. Therefore, it doesn't have to worry about repairing it. Look at all you European players. And another armor penetration. Julian's getting picked apart here, shot by shot. Oh my. Oh dear. Almost at the door snipe, but gets door sniped instead. Julian down to 11%. Does not have much left of his base remaining. He's just losing the laser duel. Just back and forth, time and again. He's trading shots with Luna, but Luna just is the economic powerhouse here. Julian just can't keep up. He doesn't have enough doors, and he's just getting blasted. The EMP out of nowhere, just causing even more problems. More cannon fire. Nuke detonates. Deals some damage, but not enough to make it worthwhile. At least, not this time. This should prompt some additional anti-air out of Team 1. Not that they didn't already have anti-air, and not that they weren't aware of the nuke. But seeing it that close should prompt additional anti-air placement. And it's gone. Doesn't make it this time. Can't tell if it was the plasma, or the flak, or maybe it was both. Either way, the nuke is shot clean out of the sky. Oh, Ragnarok's doors are left completely open. He doesn't have enough money to repair them either. Oh dear, oh my. He's putting his doors back on. Team 2 is just falling apart here. Pinchfist is falling off. I think Julian's trying to burn Speedfire's cannons out of the sky. I'm not convinced it's working. Mostly because it hasn't worked. I was about to say, that nuke isn't going where it's been designated, and I really hope it's not going into Ragnarok's bottom side. Because that would be funny, and also very frustrating. Now that I think about it, Luna has the chance to do something really funny here. So, smoke has a few effects. One of them is that it makes missiles lose their tracking. So they will continue in a straight line-ish from where they entered the smoke. So if that nuke, which comes out here, enters smoke at the right opportunity, it can just go right at the back of Ragnarok's core, because that nuke comes out facing this direction and then turns to go to the right, towards Speedfire. If it enters at just the right spot, it can start turning before getting its tracking disabled and just continue going straight directly into Ragnarok's fort. That's just a thing that can happen. It's a thing that has happened before in the FPL, and there was a lot of screaming involved, and if that's going to happen here again, that would be hilarious, as Julian continues to get perforated by laser fire. Poor Ragnarok, get it. And Team 2 generally getting bullied. Oh dear, oh my. They're trying to door snipe each other. Neither of them got it this time, but it was close. Oh, that's it. Ragnarok goes down. Cannon collapse and it's all over. Remember that co-op on death is enabled, so Ragnarok is able to join Julian up top, becoming the combined power of Arbeit's Lossengeld. In a world where they've already been perforated many times by plasmas. Ooh, buzz science, yeah. Don't see that every day. Just every week. Sniper is bouncing off here and hitting the backdrop of that shotgunner. Talk about ricochet rounds. Big hit. What follow-up do we have? Please do not shoot your plasma into the smoke launcher. Thank you. Now you fire the plasma. A solid hit. Plasma follow-up. If only, if only. So close, but also not very close. It was on the other side of the fort. The howitzers, one of them is not zeroed. They gotta fix that. Ooh, tries. It dodges and snakes back in, and it gets a solid hit. Another huge penetrative round. Poor Team 2 here. They're just getting blasted. They're doing a good job of keeping the nukes locked down, though. Luna's doing a great job of launching them and keeping them active. It's just not quite making it. But oh. Oh dear, oh my. They're trying, guys. They're trying so hard. They still have a fire beam. They still have a plasma beam. They know they can do it. Oh, they're bringing out the Magna. If this so the Magna is at this point a desperation player. It really isn't just a MAM. It is fully capable of destroying. Well, okay. I was about to say, the Magna is not a MAM. It is fully capable of destroying the entirety of Team 1's bases. Just like itself. But it's also funny to see. As Team 2 collapses, leaving Luna and Speedfire victorious here in their first round. Well played. Very, very well played. Give us a moment while we set up for the next round. That was good. That was very good. I liked that. All right. Beautiful. Been blessed with so many tournaments lately. So these tournaments do actually happen regularly and all the time. I don't usually broadcast all of them, just usually once every other week or so. I've been picking up that pace and broadcasting more of them because, well, you guys have enjoyed it, enjoying it, and you guys seem to really be enjoying it. Really seem to be enjoying it. Like, the channel is doing very well. Things are going good. Things are going great, not good. Things are going well. They're going amazing and great. But yes, we are currently getting set up for the next round. So if you guys want to grab a snack, grab a drink, now is your opportunity. Yes. What's going on here? Alright, so next up we have... This looks like... we're doing the next quarterfinals match. Roblox Mentality versus... oh Lord have mercy. Estrategia Soberana. We get another Spanish crew facing off against. It is one of the Russian. I think this is a mixed. This isn't like a. This is just a mixed team here. As I know, Alexander is one of the players here of Team Roblox Mentality. Let us go. I think it's Pixnips. This is Pixnips, isn't it? I think it's Pixnips and Alexander. I can never quite remember. Let me see if I can find out. That's not gonna help me. Streamer mode? Why are you like this? I just want to see the names. Well, either way, we are off to the races. Ladies and gentlemen, we're off to the races in another mirror match. As here we have, on the left-hand side, it is Gomi and George, the Spanish team of the day. George, shout out to George, currently broadcasting on Twitch and shoutcasting these matches in the Spanish language, is also the primary host here of the tournament. They're facing off against their opponents. On the right-hand side, it is Alexander, and I believe that's Pixnips. And that is on me for not recognizing that Pixnips was substituting in for Ryabzik. And I need to double check to make sure that it is indeed Pixnips, because I cannot read their name. And that is Pixnips, yes, okay. Unfortunately, I cannot read their name in the language, so I'll have to I have to look up via other means. But we've seen Pixnips many a time. He's great at making wonderfully fun games with the fans. So between Alexander and Pixnips, I am looking forward to this match, especially facing off against Gomi and George. So I mentioned it before, but I love seeing newer players to the game. Gomi and George obviously have played for some time. However, they are new to the tournament scene, at least new to the broader tournament scene, the global stage, as it were. Whenever we have players who are newer to the tournament scene, well, things get a little crazy, as they figure out real quick via experience, mostly cannon fire, that they got to step up their game, and that they do. Whereas this team has already made it to the quarterfinals. I suspect this is where their story will end, at least in this tournament, as they have met their match. But how hard will they fight on their way out, and will they surprise us and move on to the semifinals? The newer players always have a great story like this, simply because they do eventually surprise us. They do eventually win. And with that victory comes a great tale of triumph over the superior odds. As Alexander has already developed all of his economy upgrades and has gone laser tech, Pixnips hasn't gotten his eco upgrades yet, but is halfway completed with his cannon tech. On the other side here, Gomi is working toward the upgrade center and getting his economic upgrades online, whereas George a little bit ahead of his opponents in terms of cannon tech placement, but doesn't have his mines upgraded along the way. So good luck, you guys are going to need it. I do see some stability tech here for George, though he's already got some Blinken braces, so he needs that stability tech in order to maintain upright. Token EMP coming out. Doing some damage. The EMP is just going to cause so much chaos. So much chaos. I like the cannon stack already. It's greedy, it's getting up there. It's Canada Clock and absolutely no defenses on these cannons, but they are stacking anyways, and it's perfect. It makes me so happy. Plasma, 1/3 of the way complete for Alexander. As he gradually works the way up. No one's in a particular rush to get anything done. Except for maybe Pigsnips, who's getting a bit greedy with their cannon placement, but... Oh my god, that EMP. That EMP is unchecked. The Spaniards are not building any snipers. They're not building defenses against the EMP, and it is just... It is just... ruining them. It is just absolutely ruining them. First cannon fired from Pigsnips. Slaps George in the energy shield. No massive damage or really any damage dealt. As the EMP continues. More EMP shenaniganery. And return fire. Pigsnips takes a hit. George retaliating. A single layer of energy shields removed off of Pigsnips' defenses, but nothing critical. Fire beam, plasma beam. He actually survives it. George tanks it all. Did you blow off one of your doors? You blew off one of your doors. Unfortunate. Yeah, he's fixing that now. I was like, that follow-up cannon shell should do some real damage here. And then it dropped into the void. With the interfort void. They're focusing their fire. George is in a world of hurt. Wow. He's got just enough armor to stay alive here. As that EMP still exists, this man has not been pressured enough to sell that EMP. That is not normal. Normally you'd sell it just to get it out of your hand. But hey, you've got the APM for it, why not? Oof. George is... I mean, he's firing shots. It's just... A single cannon does not cause enough damage to break your opponents. Not without something else going on, like getting a catastrophic door snipe or, you know, finding the skill gap. Fire beam into the core, plasma to finish it. George goes down, joins Gomi's base. Co-op on death is enabled. But it burns. It burns. There's not much left to save. He saves a single wind turbine from that. From that blaze. This EMP is still tormenting the Spaniards. Now constructing a singular plasma, though that plasma has been EMP'd. The fire beams. They're just digging straight for the core. They want blood. That's what they want. They're not going for the economy. In this kind of situation, I always advocate for aiming at the economy rather than the core. I think Picksnips agrees with me, because he just wiped out 3 more of the Spaniards' mines. The fire beams may actually take the plasma here. If they get another volley like that, the plasma will just explode. With that explosion comes core damage. Or, you know, just destroying the entire block of the fort. That works too. Oh! Picksnips with the eco shots. Oh, it's beautiful. So much damage. The Spaniards are down to 3 active mines, and they don't have much left. Oh boy, it's a lot. I mean those triple fire beams just digging through everything are. Yeah, man, that's just too much firepower. You have to have energy. You require energy shields or return descenders to repel that kind of firepower. Everything else just breaks. Everything melts. Everything has a melting point. Just needs enough laser power to find it. And the answer is, they found it. Honestly, the laser's doing great work here. Just digging through everything. Team 2 wins it, knocking the Spaniards out. Rip Spanish. Very, very well played. Let's take a look at these drill shots that just drilled on through. You can see here, there's not much left. The fire beams have kind of burned everything. Even on the other side of this wood, it's heavily damaged. You can see the repair markers here, where things have been damaged, but things just up to that point have been completely broken. And then we have the follow-up lasers punching through even more. Look at it. Just breaking everything. And the plasma directly to the core. That's such a beautiful alignment of the beams. And it all breaks. Yeah. That's good. Alrighty then. Next up, we have Team Castores sin Escrupulos versus Team Seb Karma. Let's see how this works out. Right. Are we not doing that matchup next? That should be the next matchup here. Are we skipping them? I think we were skipping them. We're doing, yeah. Okay, so we're doing match 6 next, which is Infinity Power and Mr. Ophi versus Bill 15 Rider and OG Vlad. So we have a couple casters here joining in the competition. Looking forward to it. French versus American. I suspect the French are going to be victorious here. Question from chat. Why are there batteries behind weapons? I don't know. It's something I've seen a fair few times. It's something I'll do myself in certain maps. There are some maps where I cannot create or cannot easily or realistically create a weapons platform that survives being door sniped. Therefore, I don't care if the entire thing is destroyed. Like, it doesn't matter if the whole thing is packed with explosives because the thing will be destroyed anyways if it's door sniped, so... I don't mind doing that. That was not one of those situations. That one's just a high risk, low reward kind of situation. Where if you get door sniped, you lose everything super hard. Like, it's just death for your whole fort. Doesn't even have to be door sniper, just penetrated for any reason. But that was last round. Now we're off to the races. As here we have on the left-hand side, it is Though 15 Rider and OG, one of the French teams. They're playing as the Architect Commander, against the Americans on the right, Infinity Power and Mr. Ophi, playing as the Pinchfist Commander. We've seen this matchup before. In fact, we've seen this matchup very recently. We'll see how this one plays out this time. I would credit the French team with being the superior gamers here. Infinity Power and Mr. Ophi are quite the good. We've seen them in the Forts Pro League and such. So I do expect a good game here. And I'm curious how it's going to play out. Did you do it? I think you did. You did. Oh, I see. That isn't actually... Okay. So that's cutting it real close there, buddy. It's fine. Sniper just tickling the Infinity Power's turbines. Classic. They do this every time, and it never gets old. Only exhausting and exasperating. And I'm a big fan. Really, an AP sniper. I like it. I like it a lot. This man's going 2 AP snipers here. This should put this EMP into check, and should also, assuming he fires first, do great and terrible things to Mr. Ophi's core. That should trigger Mr. Ophi to immediately defend, because it is very obvious that Ophi's core is exposed right now. Yes. He takes a hit. Takes 2 hits. It's 4 hits to eliminate. 3 hits, and... That was close. That was moments from death. Mr. Ophi goes down to 10% on his core, which is about the smallest number you can have without being destroyed, you know. It is only the last hit point that is the only one that truly matters. It's only half true in forts. There's enough splash damage in forts that you do genuinely want to have a healthy amounts of core HP. That because if you don't, then you have to expend incredible amounts of extra income just to prevent splash damage from hitting your core. And that's not what you want. That's not the world in which you want to live. Like at all. It's not good. It's not good at all. You don't want to do it. It's bad. It's bad for the economy. It's bad for everything else. I'm paying attention mostly to Pinchfist here. This man's trying to finish off the core by hitting it with flak from below, and Mr. Ophi's having to defend against that. This is the kind of thing you don't want to have to do. You don't want to have to stop what you're doing and restructure your fort because someone decided to fire flak generally in your direction. It's bad. It's not a good world to live in. Either way, Team 1 is letting their opponents, is letting the Americans have control, map control, as it were. They're saying, hey, you're guys gonna get a first shot advantage, that's fine, we're just gonna take it on the cheek and build up our economy and go from there and then reply eventually. And the Americans are planning double howitzer, fire beam, plasma beam, which is several flavors of lethal. Oh my god, this man just put a cannon in his wood spam. Oh, it's gonna be rough. Oh, it's gonna be real rough. It doesn't even have it done properly, so it's removing 2 layers instead of just 1. Oh dear, it's going to be bad. It's going to be so bad. What is happening? You fired 1 howitzer without the second howitzer available. Then you fired a plasma without the fire beam available, without using the fire beam first. So no damage has occurred. The sniper found the murder hole and hit the toes of the shotgun, causing it to have some pain. Alright, I think Team 2 is ready to actually fire. That they are. It goes deep. Fire beam. Fire beam. He tried. He tried. It's okay. The howitzers still cut deep and did their work. More importantly, the commander active ability for Team 1, the Architect commander ability, has been activated, and as such, they now have weapons, because it causes their weapons to be constructed almost instantaneously. Alright, alright, you see the target. Laser Man had a different target in mind. Gets a hit nonetheless. Oof. A little slow on the... Oh no. Through the open door, directly into the core. You can see the door is still open. But it all goes away. Well, Team 2 just lost their lasers. They lost the laser duel, and with it, that's gonna put them at an extreme disadvantage. Now, these howitzers still exist. They are, however, completely defeated by the anti-air of the French team. Yeah, that's gonna put the French team at an extreme advantage here. And they're focusing the Americans' economy too. Oh, it's so effective. Oh, you got the toes again. Man just took out the sniper with a cannon shell. You know what? I approve. And the shotguns, well... The shotguns did take it out, but close enough to where it still caused damage. This howitzer is so... I mean, this cannon is so dangerously placed. Oof. Massive damage. Another weapon broken, and with it, a hope of progress. I'm still concerned about seeing those cannons placed there. It's like giving their opponents a chance. Now the shotguns tried, completely failed. But they tried. As the laser fire starts, those howitzers are not safe. Fire beam penetrates and ignites the howitzers, though they do survive. Plasma, oh, howitzers exposed. Plasma dealing direct damage to the weapon itself, but not enough to break it. That howitzer now no longer has a door, and should probably get one. Man, if Infinity Power and Mr. Ophi, the right side players, were able to break any of these cannons, Team 1 just crumbles. But good lord, do the French have a lot of firepower, and the Americans are not handling it well. It's just a slow grind toward defeat. The anti-air is once again online. And there's plenty of shotguns to knock those howitzers out of the sky. The foundations are shattered. They're crumbling, but caught. Not enough to completely collapse, but it was close. It was very close. Impacts of that magnitude cannot be sustained again. And we might be hitting that point. Yep, there it is. Death by laser beam. Lasers with a great showing. Very, very well played. Alright, I want to see this door snipe. Because if you notice, there's no real defenses between this fire beam and the core. Look at it. Look at it. He opens the door after it started firing, and it's gone. It all goes away. You let them in the house. So much damage. You love to see it. Ooh, we have more Spaniards in here, it would seem. You love to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're off to the races. Once more into the fray. And we're off. As here we have on the left-hand side. Alright. As here we have on the left-hand side. It is Pablito and Emperador facing off against their opponents. On the right-hand side in the red, it's Sebka and Binary Karma. This is going to get exciting. We do have some fun commander choices here, with Pablito and Emperador playing as the Moonshine commander. Whereas on the other side, Sebka and Binary Karma are playing as the Warthog commander. Interesting base designs so far for everyone involved. I am looking for tells of anything out of the ordinary. I'm expecting both teams to go towards heavy weapons, with the current meta saying the current meta play is having a stop for economic upgrades along the way. It seems that most are not going for economic upgrades, but instead just going straight to heavy weapons, as you can see. This is the most unusual thing we've seen thus far, and this I'm going to keep a close eye upon. I don't know what to expect from that, because that's not... One missile does not cause problems like that. There's some bold base decisions going around. I think this counts as. Unusual. I think there are several parts of this which count as unusual. Oh my. We also have this happening. These are EMPs. So we have a bit of a rocket rush going around. Interesting. Rush is not the right word, but rockets. And we do see a stack of standard cannons coming out from Emperador. I feel like this man is trying to hurt their opponents via psychological damage. And you know what? I'm into it. I'm into it a lot. So both of these teams are European and Spanish, so I assume they're both Spanish. But that is not a good assumption. As the rockets are flying, as are the cannons singing. On the right-hand side, Sebka is getting their fire beam and plasma beam online. Oh, it's getting bad. Sebka's armor is breached. His core is vulnerable to cannon shells. And rockets, for that matter. Oh, huge hit. Sebka's moments from collapse. Fire beam just waving around. And he's gone. Death to rockets. Death by rockets, I should say. As Binary Karma is the last remaining player for their team. And he's, struggling to stay upright. Here comes the rocketry once again. Oh, a devastating hit. All of their turbines have been destroyed. A cannon is sent back, but doesn't deal any real damage. I'd shout out to the double doors here with the shields. That's... He has no energy production. Pablito needs more energy production before he can continue to fire his rockets. A swing and a miss. There's just nothing in the fort to take that hit. That return volley actually did blow all the doors off of Emperador. On the other side, there are simply no doors to blow off here. Binary Karma and Sebka don't have doors on their weapons, period. They are placing them now. Just to be sure, this is not a meme tournament. Correct. A mine is shattered. You are correct. This is not a meme tournament. It's the best kind of tournament. A tournament with mixed player skills. We have some newer players, some experienced players, and everything in between. Devastating. This is how Forts is meant to be played. Oh, it's a crumbling. Oh, it's a crumbling. Do it. Harmlessly caught upon the doors as the rockets impact once again. And Team 2 is completely out of money. They've been penetrated. Their armor is gone. Nothing's stopping these cannon rounds from just perforating their base and destroying their juicy internals. And nothing's stopping the rockets from directly impacting the core. And just like that, Team 1 wins it. Well played. It will be Team Castores, Sin, and Scrupulos. Moving on to the next round. Very, very well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, give us a minute while we set up for the next round. The skill level in this tournament is quite vast, yes. Who can lean the furthest without collapsing? Well, I think you guys saw the answer to that question. Everyone. Question from chat, why is this called the Spanish tournament? Because it's hosted by the Spaniards. That is the reason why it's called the Spanish tournament. This tournament is hosted by the Spaniards, predominantly for Spaniards, but has been opened up to the global stage to let everyone in. So we have the Spaniards mixed in with everyone else. This is notable because the Spaniards typically don't participate in the global tournaments, mostly because they're relatively new. So you get to see relatively new players ostensibly joining the world stage for Fort's Mayhem. Alright, the players are in and the match is made. We'll have another German team versus I'm not actually sure. They are new to me players of European residents and not Spanish speakers. So not Spaniards, but new to me anyways. Maybe they are Spaniards and they just don't speak Spanish. Who am I to judge? Alright, the players are here. The match is made. We'll be starting momentarily. And we're off to the races. As here we have on the left-hand side is Bombstander and Nanuki. Bombstander in the lower fort, Nanuki in the upper fort. Are playing as the Hurricane Commander. You guys have seen them many a time throughout the Forts Pro League, as well as many tournaments throughout the ages here in the community. They're facing off against their opponents on the right-hand side in the red forts. It's Tarkin and Metro Fission. Playing as the Warthog Commander. Relatively new to me, I don't know what to expect of them. They do appear to be building in what is a standard format and facing up against some more than standard opponents. I'm excited to see how this one turns out. So at the moment, I'm looking for differences from the normal, as things seem to be progressing relatively along the expected paths. Nanuki building quite the dense turbine platform here with no turbines on it. Stop getting distracted and build a turbine. You can do it. I believe in you. Are you saving for heavy weapons tech already? Is that what's going on here? You are. You are, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Okay. That's fine. That works just fine. As I was saying, things are progressing as I would have expected them to progress. Nothing unusual or out of place. Stability tech for everyone relevant. Bombstander's actually getting a plasma out relatively early. I think this is on cannon o'clock timing plasma. So we may see an early, relatively early shot. Everyone else seems to be going pretty standard eco, like heavy eco into weapons eventually kind of situation. No rushes from anyone. The Bombstanders will be fast. We do have an EMP from Nanuki. This will be relevant. If only just. It keeps firing. Kinda surprised we don't have a fire beam coming out from Bombstander. You can see him building the skill gap here. This is typically how the skill gap comes to form, where it's kind of awkward to build in this tiny little bracing here, so you just don't. and instead you build something like 4 longs or 3.5 longs and just leave the whole thing exposed. Because I mean, what's gonna happen? What's the worst that can happen? Someone shoots through this and gets nothing. There's nothing behind it. That's totally the worst that can happen, right? There's plasma, but there's no follow-up nor other supplementary shots. So if it exists, it's keeping the opponents honest, but the opponents are already being quite honest, given they've defended against the EMP fully by virtue of thick, girthy armor. Howitzer with cannon follow-up from Nanuki. Howitzer's coming online at now. Whereas on the other side, Tarkin and Metro Fission, both of their cannons are still under construction. They have 30 seconds or so before they both come online. But Team 1 is ready to fire right now, as the Germans are getting aggressive. The double plasma actually almost breaks through Metro's base. You can't take much more deformation either. You can see his back strut here is blinking. It's on the cusp of... oh, that's it. And he's gone. He just didn't rebuild in time. Technically, Team 1 used their Hurricane Commander active to reload extra fast to get the extra plasma round into the core before Metro was able to repair. He was in the process of repairing, but didn't repair fast enough, and just got kind of punished for it. And now we have just intense firepower raining down upon him. Team 2 is struggling here. Team 2 getting a shotgun online, which is going to be incredibly useful against that howitzer. But they have only a single standard cannon, and one cannon does not break the enemy. Not here. Not like this. A door snipe is probably the best they can hope for, and a door snipe will not resolve the problem. It'll just make it less bad. Well, okay. The cannon wasn't defended from snipers from on high, and those... everything... They just lost everything. Team 2 just lost everything. Yeah, this is just a different class. Like, these players are not the same caliber. Like, don't get me wrong, Target and Metro Fission are way above average. They are actually decent here, but Bombstander and Nanuki are just kind of another level compared to them. And it shows. We're seeing an incredibly vast display of firepower, and it's just it's leaving Team 2 here, Tarkin and Metro Fission, in quite the rough position. Oh, now they're just showing off. They built a Magna Beam to wrap the cannon shells around because they can. Why are you like this? Yeah, so welcome to Forts. Tarkin and Metro Fission. I believe this is where your story ends, at least here in this particular tournament. There will be another, and you will have an opportunity to push on to the next round. But this time, it's Bombstander and Nanuki who take it, and their prize moving forward in this tournament. Well played. Alright, give us a minute while we set up the next round. Hop off triple sniper and I can get a job. It's funny because the man did just build triple sniper and store sniper guy's cannon. Like, what are you gonna do? Beautiful. Alrighty then. Next up. We have Team Plancha versus Team Cannon Express. Got some banter going around in lobby. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the players are here. We're still setting up the match, so we've got another minute or two before we jump into the action. Team Plancha versus Team Cannon Express. You know, with the Spanish names, it's going to give me a good opportunity to roll my R's when speaking the names, and that's fun. I like that. Give me some variety. Let us go. Alright, the map will be Vanilla 2v2. The match is made. The players are spamming the ready button, which means it's impossible to get them to start because they're constantly toggling between ready and not ready. So we will be going momentarily. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this as we jump straight into the action. And we're off. As here we have on the left-hand side Team Planches. Luna and Speedfire are playing as the Architect Commander. Interesting choice. So this is something we don't see, like, ever. Turbine placement here. I'm going to keep an eye on that. I think I know why they're doing that. I'll put a pin in that and come back to it. Because here on the right-hand side, it is the French. Team OG and Though 15 Rider. They're playing as the Overdrive Commander. And as you can see, somewhat different turbine placements going on here. Let's see how that works out for everyone involved. Then you have this, which is actually kind of the current meta. Do you have a sniper for everyone involved? As someone built a sniper, therefore everyone built a sniper. Speedfire wins his duel against 15 Rider, and Luna loses their duel against OG. Luna's mine is getting sniped. Is to now defend against that. Defend they do. Tech-wise, everyone is progressing up the tech tree. We're seeing an upgrade center for everyone and a tier 1 tech for everyone. For Team 2, tier 1 tech is the upgrade center, courtesy of the Overdrive Commander. So we are seeing only the upgrade center. And with that, it means that we're not seeing any specific developments into things like flak or anything else of that matter. All of this is expected. Current meta strategies involve doing all the things that we are seeing for every player. This is more what I was wondering about. So, turbines like this mean one of two things. One, you're intending on building a turbine platform later, somewhere else, which is what Luna is doing. Or, it means you're doing this cheesy mortar play, where you just stick some mortars behind here and use the turbines as early defense for them. Typically, you would leave the turbines up, and the turbines would act as your energy production to fuel the mortars. They would also act as your basic defenses for the mortars, because turbines can be a bit thick. Because Speedfire is definitely going to need some additional turbines in order to fuel and fund those mortars. What you doing here? Is he gonna block your turbines? He knows that. I think that's why he's panicking with the building. By the way, Speedfire has surprise mortars on the way, and I think no one knows about them. For a second I thought OG knew about them, but then he upgraded those machine gunners to mini gunners, which is going to be painful for him, as those mortars are already aimed directly at his core. So, oh, and there's a smoke launcher. How did that not deal core damage? That dealt core damage. But he will be able to construct an array of structure here that'll keep him safe from this volley of mortars. And now some anti-air for though 15 Rider is online, so those mortars will be substantially less effective. In fact, they're completely defended. And this whole time, Speedfire is not going for mortars as his primary weapon. His primary weapon is going to be cannons. The side investments into mortars means that he's now behind the 15 Rider in terms of cannon placement. You can tell because the Rider has a cannon placed, and Speedfire only just placed a cannon. But in exchange, he's caused some serious damage to OG down here, which has significantly delayed OG's cannons. You can tell because OG doesn't have a cannon at all. Whereas Luna has developed a... why are you like this? That's just... why are you like this? Okay, well... Luna's got a fire beam and a plasma beam placed. They'll only just placed a plasma at the same time as OG has placed a howitzer. Rider going up to 2 cannons compared to Speedfire's single cannon. I'm not convinced that the mortars were worth it in this case, which is such a surprise to me. Like, what happened here? Like, surely this will cause even more expenditure and will make the mortar. I'm truly not sold. I think what it is because it charged the overdrive active, and the overdrive active means more money, that it kind of made up for the damage that the mortars did. Potentially more than made up for the damage that they did, though probably only just. That's what I suspect happened here. Because those mortars did some real damage to OG. Not just core damage, but more importantly, just game state. His Rider has almost completed construction of his 3rd cannon compared to Speedfire's 2nd. Team 1 just desperately needs to get their weapons online. Desperately needs to get their weapons online. As Team 2 now has a howitzer and a triple cannon. Going up to a 4th cannon too. And that's it. Oh, it's a double kill. Oh, it's the worst case scenario. The domino effects, they both go down. What a way to go. Oh, it's so much damage. We gotta see that one. This is why you gotta be super careful, at least one of the reasons why you gotta be super careful of building a cannon here. Like, this is so much armor, there's no way anything penetrates that. Not even, you know, a howitzer gets through that. But then, all of a sudden, a howitzer is able to punch through because There's nothing there to stop it. It's been replaced by a cannon. Not only is there nothing there to stop it, but the thing that's there detonates and makes it so much worse. So very much worse. Look. If all of this had been wood, this cannon shell does nothing. If all this had been wood, the next cannon shell does nothing. But instead, it hits the cannon, causing secondary explosions, destroying everything, ripping this core off its foundations, and dragging it over the edge. I was so close to detonating. It's devastating. Both players paying for the mistake of building a cannon inside your defensive grid. You'll love to see it. Welcome to Forts. Yeah. It's a good time. French kiss elimination? Yes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. The Spaniards have returned. Next up, we have Team Castores sin Escrupulos versus Buzzsaw Dilemma. The Germans are here to filter the Spanish out of their own tournament. The upcoming Spanish team here in the quarterfinals is the final remaining Spanish team in the Spanish tournament. Here's hoping they make it. Here, they beat the odds. We need someone to save us from the Germans. They keep taking over everything. I am the only American in the lobby. Everyone else is European. Oh no. I'm okay with this. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the map is made, the players are ready, so we'll be jumping into the action here in just a moment. Time's up. Let's do this. And we are off. Why are my hotkeys all shattered? Alright, well, here we have on the left hand side, it's Team Buzzsaw Dilemma. Bombstander and Nanuki are playing as the Pinchfist Commander, presumably rushing their way to another victory, as they're facing off against their opponents on the right-hand side in the red forts. It is Team Castores. Team Castores is playing as the Shockinaw Commander. Oh, I like to see this. So this will be different. Shockinaw Commander is not a particularly common or popular commander here in 2v2 scenarios, or most scenarios for that matter. I am curious to see how this is going to play out for them, because Shockinaw does have a bit of a odd bonus in that it converts heavy weapons, or hybrid weapons, into heavy weapons. So a fire beam can be upcasted into a plasma beam during the commander active. So usually the Shockanaut commander involves a whole bunch of 20mm and fire beams that just kind of suppress everyone and then do an incredible amount of damage and then suppress everyone and then just kind of go back and forth. I'm curious to see how it's going to work out for them. We haven't really seen much in the way of Shockanaut in the Forts Pro League or the tournament leagues generally. But it is a fun commander, and frankly quite annoying to play against. Another feature of Shockanaut is that it disables enemy turbines, and there's no counterplay to it. You just kind of have to accept that your turbines are going to be disabled some of the time. The most fun part of Shockanaut is the barrel. The barrel is an alternate form of the battery. It explodes more, but holds more power. And more importantly, acts as a backup core if your core is defeated. It commands your base in exchange, which is, you know, neat. Used for some cheesy tactics. We've seen it used in the meme tournament, actually, to drop some nukes into the abyss, where nukes were portaled through a moving launch platform, a launch platform which is catapulted into the abyss, and then nukes would rise from the abyss at, you know, undertow angles and just come up from the bottom and directly impact people's core, bypassing the anti-air entirely, which is hilarious. But I suspect not what we're going to be seeing here. Now, in terms of gameplay, things are progressing as much as I would have expected them to. The Germans here are not playing particularly pinch-fisty. They are pinch-fisty, but they took a sidestep toward economic upgrades. You can tell because they have economic upgrades. They're all upgraded mines. So they'll be hitting cannon o'clock timings, standard cannon o'clock timings, rather than pinch-fist timings. Whereas on the other side, we have what I would describe as a similar degree of normal play. They've not gone to upgrades. They've gone just standard weapon timings at a standard weapon placements. But the only oddity is that Pablito here seems to have forgotten a mine, which is unfortunate. But yes, here you can see Emperador has built multiple fire beams, which is the expected play for Shockanaut. Because fire beams are cheaper, and when you can upcast them to heavy lasers, then you don't need to spend the extra on heavy lasers. We do see the EMP from Pablito. I like that. But the Spaniards are running out of time. Plasma's online. Oh no, he didn't build defenses at cannon o'clock, and he's gone. Fire beam replies. But it's a fire beam. Oh, actually, if he fires that again, he can hit the plasma and take it out. That plasma's not defended against fire beam here. But I think the plasma will be repairable. Yeah, no, he defends it in time. Okay. He's panicking so hard, he's failing to build the reconnection, which is unfortunate, but it happens to us all. A beautiful energy shield. Now, I was wondering if he was going to hold, if Bomb Standard was going to hold that plasma for when the howitzers are ready, but it turns out didn't need to. Just Pablito didn't have quite enough armor around their core. And the single plasma ended it. Outright and directly. Nanuki, what have we learned about building cannons inside your defensive block? Nothing, apparently. We learned this lesson every so often. Someone does it, it works for like 2 rounds, and then it is the cause of their defeats. And then they stop doing it, and then the cycle repeats. Alright, well, we're up to 4 plasmas for Bomb Stander, 2 howitzers and 2 cannons for Nanuki. On the other side, we have a couple very well-paid machine gunners and a pair of fire beams. And not enough energy for Bomb Stander. Bomb Stander is 4 plasmas and barely enough energy for 3. Needs more batteries and also wind turbines. Nanuki going up to 3 cannons and 2 howitzers, which is just kind of a lot. Oh, did you get the door snipe? You did. Fire beams are such a liability all of the time. Especially when you have that many of them. Well, they are no longer a liability. They're all gone. The combined firepower, the Spaniards are trying to hold on here. They have a sniper. But everything is getting sniped. Looks like they're saving their money for something. I don't think it really matters what that something is. As they're being perforated here. A lot. Repeatedly. And there it goes. That was extremely one-sided. Extremely one-sided. And with that, the last hope of the Spaniards has been obliterated here in the Spanish 2v2 tournament. The Germans move on to the semifinals. Very well played. I want to see that first shot here. Just so we can see it dig on through. Oh, he still has the machine gunner here. This was never changed even a little bit. Oh no, he just hadn't defended at all yet. And then it burned. Clean through. Look at it. Oh no, it hurts my soul. And he went away. Then we have this fiasco of just laser after laser after laser. You see, this is what I was expecting from the other teams. Like, oh yeah, they have an advantage. Let's just, you know, build some lasers and hit them. Just build like 4 lasers and dig through. Like, they can, you know, defend against 2 lasers. That's all fine and dandy. But you send 4 lasers into the same spot. It's just... This is what happens when you send 4 lasers into the same spot. It just all breaks and comes crumbling down. You just do it. Just do it. They're lasers. They're perfectly precise. It works every time. Unless they have an energy shield, then it never works. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, that will be the wrap-up for today. Make sure to check back tomorrow where we have the second half of this tournament. We'll be seeing who comes out on top in the Spanish 2v2 tournaments. Run by the Spaniards, but there will be no more Spanish participants in the finals. I will see you guys tomorrow at the same time, at the same hour. Until then, I will be signing out. Normally, I would have a stream after the tournament activities on Saturdays. However, I will be spending time outside as I have activities with friends planned. So I'll have to catch you guys up on that later. So for now, I want to say thank you to everyone for joining. Make sure to hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, because we've got more content like this coming out every single week, multiple times a week. But for now, have a good day, everyone, and I will see you guys tomorrow.